welcome to episode 9 of the World of Screens podcast. On today's show, we'll be reviewing the 2 theatrical releases in Australia this week, Bride Hard and Together, and take a look at last weekend at the Aussie box office as always. Welcome back to Mr. Peter Gray, the AU Reviews movie man and the Rotten Tomatoes certified critic man. We missed you last week, Pete. Josh jumped in to say good day, but we missed you.
It was I did like Josh's little thing on Instagram where he was like, "Oh, when the Rotten Tomatoes critic can't," and he like covered my face, and I was like, "Oh, all right."
It was pretty funny.
I was like, no. I was like, I'll pay that. That's good.
But he brought a TV flair. We discussed TV for the first time, which is not something you and I watch a lot of. So we here and there.
We do watch television, yes. And I literally have just released a review of a television show that
there we go.
True. Yeah. But I'm sure in the scheme of like hard hitting shows, me watching a Netflix comedy called Leanne, isn't really. But you know what? She's a delight. Has that southern charm, easy to watch. So, but no, yes, Josh is definitely TV is definitely
He's the TV man.
His thing. So if anybody is going to temporarily replace me, I'm happy for it to be Josh.
We're always happy for Josh to come around. He was going to jump on to this episode, but we couldn't match up the times because I don't know if you listened to last week's episode when we teased that we were talking about Together. I briefly said, have you had a chance to see it? And he's like, I have seen it. And I was like, oh, cool. I loved it. And he was like, I think I'm the only person in the world who didn't like it.
Wow.
So we will at some point have to get Josh's more thoughts on Together. But that's a spoiler alert for later on. You're going to hear a conversation about a film that Pete and I loved. Before we get into that, obviously, thank you all for listening. Welcome back. If you are watching us on YouTube, subscribe and like and all that jazz. Leave a comment. It helps us. It helps us get seen. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts, if you could follow us there as well. While you're following things, go to Instagram at worldofscreens.com. You'll find all our fun little posts there. And then at worldofscreens.com, you can jump on the email list. You'll never miss an article, review, and everything we do on there. All the support is incredibly helpful.
Ever.
You'll never miss them. My own inbox gets flooded by the things that I post. It's great. I love it. But no, the support is incredibly helpful. And we thank you for listening and reading and doing everything to support the World of Screens. Let's kick off with a review for an action comedy film called Bride Hard.
Something's come up. I just have to go.
What? Sam!
Okay, boys and girls, on your toes. Operation's happening tonight.
Going to get the package.
Negative, Sam. We are not authorized.
Where's Sam? She's not making me feel very special, is she?
Why is that girl's profession that's so important?
Well, hello, Sam and Amading-dong.
That was a work emergency. I'm here now. Let's have some fun and stuff.
When a mercenary group takes a lavish wedding hostage, they have no idea what they are in for, as the maid of honor is actually a secret agent ready to rain hellfire upon anyone who would ruin her best friend's wedding. So, as previously mentioned, it's an action comedy film from director Simon West. Con Air. The Expendables 2. The General's Daughter.
Tomb Raider.
I
mean, the old one.
The
Angelina Jolie one, yeah.
The Angie Jolie one. What could go wrong? Written by Shina Steinberg, from a story by Steinberg and CC Pleasance. It stars Rebel Wilson, Anna Camp in a fun little Pitch Perfect reunion. Anna Schlumsky, Davine Joy Randolph, Gigi Zimbardo, Stephen Dorff, and Justin Hartley. Now, Pete, you're a smart man. You're an intelligent man.
Am I? Thank you.
You are. But I bet you didn't know this. Bride Hard is actually a play on phrase of Die Hard. I bet you didn't know that, Pete.
Nick, you just when I think I know everything, I learned something new. That's what that is. Oh, that makes perfect sense. And you know what? Shame on me for not realizing how smart this movie was.
Have you just given an extra star to your review?
I really have. That's really just taken things to a whole new level. Because I could be just like Josh is the only person that didn't like Together. Could I be the only person that liked Bride Hard?
Did you? Okay, that's the question.
No, God, no. Like,
This is a tough movie
oh,
to
this
watch.
is, I think and Nick and I spoke about this. I think what is really frustrating is that this premise
Hmm.
could be just like, could really open itself up to
Well,
something kind of great.
think about
Like,
Shotgun Wedding a few years ago with J-Lo.
I
Like
mean,
that
this
was
is
a
like
fun movie.
essentially this is almost that
Pretty much the same
same
movie to
premise.
an extent, yeah.
But like you think of something like the movie Spy,
Yep.
like that managed to sort of take a very simplistic premise, like oh, like the frumpy woman who's actually like really incredibly good at being a spy.
Hmm.
And Spy, that movie, that is one of the greatest action
It's
comedies of all
it's all
time.
time.
Like
It's
it's
so funny.
incredible. Um, and like Simon West having Con Air, you just go, how do you
It's one of my
fall
favorite movies.
so hard? Because the movies he's directed have very much dwindled in the years since. Like
Yes.
there's a lot of like Nicolas Cage, Jason Statham straight to DVD kind of titles in there.
So he's the last five films he's done before Bright Heart is let me know if you know any of these. Legend Hunters, Old Guy, Skyfire, Gun Shy, and Stratton. And then just before that, he had a bit of a run where he did Wild Card with Jason Statham,
Mm.
Stolen with Nicolas Cage, Expendables 2, and The Mechanic.
Mm.
Which I don't
Oh,
mind The
you
Mechanic
know what? The
actually.
Mechanic, that was all right.
He also did the
Um,
When a Stranger Calls remake, which I watched a lot in the early
oh, that
2000s.
movie's awful.
It's bad, but I did watch it a
Um,
lot.
but yeah, so Simon West, who, we know can at least execute action at some point.
Totally.
A premise that could really open itself up to like something bombastically violent, really, really funny, like go farcical, go full on it.
Go over the top with the violence and go really crude with the humor.
Yeah, yeah.
It works. Yeah.
And then you have like this, like, every like I know a lot of people have their opinion on Rebel Wilson.
Mhm.
Like, I guess when the Pitch Perfect movies kind of really seem to like fit her niche. Like, her sort of cameo on Bridesmaids is quite
Yeah.
funny.
Well, she's able
Um,
to bring her. She's a strong improv comedic
yeah,
actress and comedian,
yeah,
right? So she's able to come in for these bits, like
yeah,
not necessarily have that be an entire character for a full movie, but like
yes,
the bit role where she just comes in and gives like the director 10 insane lines of dialogue and goes,
yeah.
"There you go, do what you
Like
want with that."
she's always at an 11 sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, totally.
So you got her leading this movie, and like as you mentioned, like the supporting cast for this, like Anna Klumsky, coming off now, sort of Veep has kind of, I guess,
Sure.
revamped
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
her career. I like Anna Camp.
I really like Anna Camp,
I
yeah.
really like her, and not just because I interviewed her and she's absolutely like just
Lovely.
charming. Like Gigi Zimbardo, I only really know from Hard Eyes, and she was fine in that.
Sure.
Like Divine Joy Randolph, like
That's
Oscar
the
winner,
one. Yeah.
Divine Joy
Oscar winner
Randolph.
to enjoy Randolph. You kind of go like,
Like,
this is
but you
what
just
you
sort of
want to
go
do
like, was this one of
next.
those ones that maybe this was like she signed on to this before the that sort of thing?
Was this filmed 4 years ago that we don't
Yeah.
know about? Yeah, yeah.
Stephen Dorff, he's, not a bad, Justin Hartley, who is essentially like the poor man's Glenn Powell, like, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Um, but
Pretty good.
that's like a good lineup.
This is the thing. The recipe of this film makes sense. Like
Yes.
it didn't need to be. I feel like you're the same. We don't walk into this film going like, I expect this to be a 5-star action
Oh,
comedy.
yeah.
If it's just an easy 90 to 100 minutes of, like we said, crazy violence, some crude humor, just everyone giving at least like 70% effort to
Yeah.
make this, you get a solid 3-star movie.
Oh, yeah.
This
You know,
movie is so fucking lazy. It is
that
so lazy. It's
like
offensively lazy.
from the get-go, like,
Oh, that
like
opening 15
the
minutes
opening
is
credits were weird. Like the
weird.
way that it even puts the like it has a million bloody production companies, which kind of tells you something. It doesn't give any of the cast.
No.
It says it already starts with like the way that it does, like executive producer, writer, direct, like they get they're up first, which is not
It's a
something that,
long opening credit sequence.
and it shows like footage of like what we presume to be Anna Camp and Rebel Wilson's characters as kids, but there's like no context to it. Like
No.
we're literally just shown shots of children, and we're like, okay.
Yeah.
And then it goes 30 years later, and it's like we haven't even been given like we
As
haven't been
foundation
given
to
a
jump off of.
foundation. So
No.
telling us something 30 years later means absolutely nothing.
No.
And then the thing that I found about this is like the script exposition is just like vomited on screen, and it's like I get that you want to tell us things, and it's one of those things where it's like we've been friends for 30 years. How can you, it's that sort of stuff, and
There's no
that's
nuance
stuff.
to any of this.
And like I understand having those kind of lines to, but it really treats its audiences as if we're like the dumbest people alive. And that like the opening action sequence kind of gives you an indication as to how lazy it is, how awkwardly edited it is,
Yeah.
how it's like
Because the thing is, we know Rebel Wilson can do physical comedy. We've seen it. She's an incredibly physical comedic actress.
yeah.
But there's like the action scenes, which I thought there's one action scene where she uses hair straighteners as nunchucks, which I thought was the most inventive thing this film did, which is not saying a lot.
No,
right?
but that sequence was actually kind of choreographed well.
I wrote in my review, I was like, the idea of like having mercenaries take people hostage at a lavish wedding, you kind of immediately go, okay, what are the things around this wedding that I can now use as weapons? And they only do it once with their hair straighteners. And you kind of go, well, the whole idea is like have fun with the location and the setting and stuff. Whereas the opening scene is just this really lackluster foot chase that happens to be near the bar where their hens party is happening anyway.
Because like the whole thing is that no one knows that no one in Rebel Wilson's friend group knows that she's and that's fine. We've done the whole thing
and
where
she's
it's like
flaky because of it. Everyone's talking about like, oh, she's not around for this and that. and that.
Which
she's off saving the world.
Which I guess is kind of like, well, that's a way at least to show like why her and Anna Camp eventually have conflict, and like you're not invited to my wedding because you're never there, and it's like, okay, like that's a perfectly reasonable way to be like she's flaky, but she's actually like saving things, blah blah blah. But then like also the job that she says she is, I think, is meant to be funny, and it's not.
It's not.
Like a cat show entrepreneur. You're like, that's not funny.
No.
No. And then how she says, we all moved this bachelorette party to Paris because you told us to. And they're in Paris because that's where like this bioweapon thing's going down.
Yeah, which is a whole plot that comes and goes as well.
It doesn't do anything. But I'm like, that's the most throwaway thing of like, oh, my bachelorette party, which has probably been pre-planned quite a while ago.
You would assume so.
With 4 friends who on a whim can just travel to Paris. You kind of just like, all right, so we're just going to forget the fact that that's not even like a thing that a lot of people can do.
No.
I don't know. It was it just from the get-go, it was very like
it set its tone very early.
And you go, I don't know if this is gonna pick up at all. And it doesn't.
It doesn't. It's just it's the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And the amount of times the movie goes back into the room where Stephen Dorff is with the hostages.
Yeah.
And there is just these long scenes of dialogue about who, like, they try and do like bait and switch and twists the whole way through. And I'm sitting there going like, this is not entertaining in the slightest.
And Stephen Dorff's on autopilot. Like he does not want to be there at all.
Guys collecting checks.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And like, and like Anna Camp is at least like she's having fun. Like she's playing like a kind of a dippy blonde bit. Like she's having fun. And Divine Joy Randolph, as much as you like an Oscar winner should not be in something like this, at least she is like giving more than the film deserves. Like every line, like every line delivery, I'm like, it sounds weird to say this is why you're an Oscar winner, but it's like you can see that she actually is like giving things to the movie.
That stands out because of how lazy everything else is. The filmmaking is lazy. The editing's lazy. It's just the script is lazy. It's just not. Pardon me. It's not fun.
No,
just,
and like
it's not entertaining at all.
And this will sort of show you like so. the production company, obviously, with the film coming out, obviously need to sort of put some things on social, trying to grab like pull
Sure.
quotes, and you're like, it'll be hard to find positive pull quote. The positive pull quote that they did was, "It's Die Hard meets Bridesmaids," and I'm like,
that strikes me as
you've literally just described the two titles that they mashed together.
that strikes me as what was in the production notes.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pitch.
And also, the weird thing, calling it Bride Hard actually doesn't make any sense because the
Zero
bride
sense.
is not the person who
No.
is the secret agent. It shouldn't
And
be called Bridesmaid, Bride Hard.
no,
Like
no,
it's
not at
literally
all.
just done for the cheap joke.
It is,
Like,
and it's that not even the worst sin this movie
no,
commits. So
really, if anything, this movie should be called Shotgun Wedding, and Shotgun Wedding
Shotgun
should be
Wedding should be
called
called
Bride
Bride
Hard.
Hard. There
Like,
we go.
anyway,
Yeah,
it
if you
was
want to watch
it
the
was
better version of this, watch Shotgun Wedding on
What
Prime.
Shotgun Wedding? Um, this was bad, and I didn't like, and I didn't, I look, I knew it wasn't going to be great because the trailer did not sell me at all. But I also I didn't want this to be bad. I kind of
No.
thought, oh, maybe I'll get a chuckle out of it.
Yeah.
And it was really hard to find a good laugh. Like this is rough.
Well, this is the first not recommend from Pete and I on the show. 9 episodes in, this is the first film we're being like, you can skip this one.
And
it is not worth.
I'll also say,
going out
in a
for.
time when so many things are going straight to streaming and so many amazing movies are actually going straight to streaming, how this is in cinemas is
shock.
beyond. Like, look, we're cinema people.
Yeah, I know.
This
but
just kind of screams made for streaming.
like crowd too for this one. Just
yeah, the audience for this one, it was not great. So look,
reflective.
Yeah,
reflective of the film.
I just maybe if you have the desire to see this, wait until like a Tuesday when it's cheaper.
The matinee session on a Tuesday, Tuesday.
I'm sure there'll be some people that will find it an easy laugh, maybe.
Yeah.
But
there's better versions of this movie out there. There's way better versions.
Yeah. Look, I've obviously seen much worse than this year. Yeah. But this is
still pretty low. This is still quite low for me, yeah.
But yeah.
Wondering maybe we'll see how low it is on the box office chart next week.
You know what? I'll be very
intrigued
to see where that lands.
Because we've had a healthy run. So let's chat Australian box office. We'll look at the top 5 in the box office supplied by Numero Box Office. And we'll see where Bride Hard hits next week. But for now, the top 5 in Australia. Number 5 is called Sayara. It's a Hindi language film. We haven't seen it. Australia has a very, I guess, contextually for those who are listening outside of the country, a very strong either Hindi or Tamil, basically any Indian language film. Like a lot of these films come out and do quite well. $544,000 at number 5 in the box office.
These are not films that sort of get on my radar, and with all of the things going on, like it's hard to sort of see these movies, but it really makes me happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like that, these kind of films do so well and people show up to them.
Yeah.
It's just as we keep sort of feeling like, is the theatrical experience going away, and are people really going to the movies? And then you have something like this that you'd tell 9 out of 10 people about it, and then people would go, what the hell is that? But it's like, it's made $500,000.
Yeah. It's in our box office.
It's wild. It's it is really great to see.
Exciting. So that is at number 5. Number 4, still holding strong with 1.2 million. F1 the movie.
Oof.
Geez, like this is insane. Like,
and you know what?
It's still making it over $1 million.
And I love that it hasn't got a streaming date yet.
No,
like they haven't let this movie
Apple date yet. Yeah,
like this movie reminds me of like old school movie days where films are in cinemas and are left to just find audiences, let them have their longevity. It's so great. I am looking out for that release date of when it's on like 4K.
Oh, 100%. I'll be getting the 4K.
I need that.
Absolutely.
But that's incredible after how many weeks now?
Beginning of June. Sorry, no, that was May, was it?
When
When was
did no,
F1's release date?
when did F1 release? June?
I believe it was early June. June 26th, so
It's a
5
month.
weeks, about almost 6 weeks. Yeah,
But like for that to still be in the top five, for it not to be
wild.
available to like hasn't gone to VOD,
Yeah,
like I
great.
mean, and that could be the Apple thing
Could
as
yeah,
well.
but still,
But you know what? Studios, films take notes. Movies can survive in cinemas for over a month
they can.
if you really want them to. So
Similar to number three at 1.6, Jurassic World Rebirth, still in
that's
there.
yeah, that's awesome.
For all the chat that was like, "Oh, it's the worst performing Jurassic World film," it's doing all right, guys.
Yeah,
It's doing fucking all right.
I'm very like I
Seven
yeah,
hundred and twenty-five million worldwide. It's doing okay.
it's doing okay. Good
Oh
times.
God.
That's it.
Oh
That
yeah.
sequel's coming.
That's it. Oh, absolutely. Number two, Superman at 2.1, almost $2.2 million in its
Nice.
second week. Did 6 million, 7 million the first week, I believe. So
So
really strong, really,
yeah,
really
I
strong.
mean, typical for superheroes, they have that 50% plus drop, but you know, we kind of like superhero movies tend to be very front loaded,
Yes.
which we know. But everyone's 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 loved. I've seen more positive for Superman than negative.
As of I,
Yeah,
510 million worldwide as well for that. And just contextually, 512 for F1. So an original film pretty
yeah,
much
yeah.
going toe to toe with all these franchise
I know
films.
that everyone now is
Incredible.
like, oh, it's made more than Man of Steel, and everyone's like, but like, what about adjusted for inflation? You're like, just
Just
let them be.
Just let him be. It's
Like,
it's it's success. It's a
Man of
success
Steel
and it's
did
a good
well,
movie.
Superman's doing well. You
Yeah.
just can't, just don't fight it.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. The only thing that will potentially try and fight it is the Fantastic Four First Steps at number one,
Mm.
$6.4 million. This summer in the box office has been bloody good.
This is like, you know, we obviously 2 years ago we obviously had like, you know, Barbie and Oppenheimer. But it feels like this year, because I remember there was that sort of chatter about, oh, if you're releasing Jurassic World, Superman,
Mm.
F1,
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, if you're
Ultimately,
releasing
like
them, so
week to week to week.
yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's like, there's gonna be one casualty, and it's kind of great that there hasn't been.
No.
Everyone's turned up to something opening weekend. Everyone's turned
Yeah.
up to them again. Like, yes, they have big drops, but I'm like, yeah,
Still
it's just,
strong. Still
it's just
strong.
exciting. Yeah,
And it's one of those things as well where none of these movies, maybe except for Superman, but even still would probably be lower, are none of my favorite movies of the year. Like none of
oh
these are
yeah, yeah, yeah,
close to being my favorites. But the fact that the consistent quality and that they've all been in their own ways reasonably quite entertaining is
yeah.
showing that audiences are like, you don't need the world's best movie, but you
No,
just need something that's good and something
yeah.
that's entertaining and well made. Something
Yeah.
that's not
Oh, yeah.
boring.
These are all like, in the grand scheme of things, they're all like that 3.5
Yeah.
mark, sort of. And they're all, yeah, there's like, they're not, yeah, there's definitely movies that are worse, and
Hmm.
there are movies that are better.
Hmm.
One of those movies might be what we're speaking about soon.
Potentially.
But yeah, the fact that it's just, everyone's just we're like, we're seeing popcorn
Mhm.
entertainment. And that's kind of what going to the movies is all
Is all
about.
about.
So look, am I also a little bit mad that I Know What You Did Last Summer's not in the top five? Sure.
So
Uh,
again, yeah, last week, so it debuted at number six.
yeah.
Yeah, still made a million. Still made a million.
Oh, and like, you know, it feels like that's more of a I Know What You Did Last Summer feels a bit more niche than something like Scream.
Sure. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but you know, but overall it's doing
It's
pretty,
made 45 million
yeah.
worldwide, which is pretty
So,
damn good. Like,
and for a movie that, you know, its budget was like under 20 million. So it's like,
yes, yeah. So it's done
yeah.
right. We'll probably get
That's just me being like, I want people to go see it.
that. We will probably get that sequel. I'm
I'm
confident
hoping
of it.
so.
But that is the Australian box office for another week, provided by Numero Box Office. We will obviously re-look at that next week with the new additions of films like Bride Hard, a smaller indie film called The Friend, which is also coming out this week with Naomi Watts and Bill Murray,
And
which we both enjoyed.
we'll just quickly shout out that the friend, friend is very
Yeah,
simple, very sweet. But my God, if they were going to introduce an Oscar category for animals,
Bing.
Bing, who's the Great Dane who plays Apollo, is possibly gives one of the best performances of the
It's
year.
going toe to toe with Naomi Watts, who is really angering that
Like
film. So
he is just his eyes are just the most. He is
I
the
know
sweetest animal.
the sweetest pup.
It's really incredible to see what he does in this movie. But yeah, really sweet movie. Like this,
Really, really sweet.
that's like a take your parents to the movies sort of movie.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that lands, and we'll see where this next film lands, which is our second review for the show, Together.
You know, this could be the beginning
Roll over that you're on my hair.
of something wonderful.
Tim.
We spend our lives in search of the other half. If you think you found that, don't be so quick to let it go.
I think something's happening to us.
Listen to me. Listen to me. We've got to get out of here.
Years into their relationship, Tim and Millie find themselves at a crossroads as they move to the country, with tensions already flaring. An encounter with an unnatural force threatens to corrupt their lives, their love, and their flesh. So Together is a supernatural body horror film written and directed by Michael Shanks, an Australian, of which we both spoke to him a few weeks ago. You can find those interviews at novastream.com.au and the aureview.com.au.
No, we're.com, baby.
You got the AU earlier on. You got it sorted out. And it's his directorial debut. And the film stars real-life married actors Dave Franco and Alison Brie. A few months ago, Pete and I went to the Sydney Film Festival. And pretty much we were both in agreement that we tried to see as many movies as we could. We always try and pack our schedules. But the reason we were going was because of a film called Together.
We pretty much
exclusively
went to another city, spent hundreds of dollars on flights and accommodation. Pretty much, like, we obviously saw other films. We saw one other film that was
but
but
we'll be talking about later this year.
As soon as Together was announced as the opening night film, we were both like, "Oh, I hope they play it on that opening weekend."
Yeah,
and they did. Yeah. And we were like, I would have flown for this and the other movie. I would have flown for those two movies.
Oh, absolutely.
They both gives you. I mean, it gives you an indication as to one, how passionate we are about films, how crazy we are about seeing something earlier than other people. But it gives you an indication as to how excited we were for this movie and the fact that it paid off in spades.
Big time. That was it debuted at South by Southwest to Sundance, sorry.
Yeah.
To rave
reviews.
100%
as soon as
Rotten Tomatoes.
As soon as the reaction out of Sundance, I was like, I need to see this movie.
And we saw it at a sold out session at the State Theatre. Great crowd, great theatre. What an experience. This is by far one of my favorite movies of the year. Together is it's a body horror film. It's absolutely for the sickos. There is some gross shit that happens in this movie.
Yep.
But it's also a very, very fiery codependency drama.
Yeah.
Which allows the sort of body horror to naturally navigate its way into the plot, because when you have a drama that is about a codependent couple who, Alison Brie's character Millie is moving to the country for a teaching job, sort of following her dream. Dave Franco is sort of like a washed out musician who's not really doing much with his life. And the conflict arises in the fact that, are they together just because they've been together for a long time? Or are they actually good for each other? And do they actually love each other? And when they go on a hike and find a cave and drink the supernatural water and shit starts getting real weird, It's such an interesting mash of the genre because it explores the codependency dynamic, but also then we get the bathroom scene and we get a handsaw scene and we get a diazepam scene. No, they don't call it Xanax anymore. They call it diazepam. Like it's such a well-written film. It's visually incredible. The chemistry between Dave Franco and Alison Brie is phenomenal. There is barely a part of this movie I didn't love. It's so good.
Yeah. I obviously, it's funny seeing the trailers for this because they're obviously hyping up the fact that it's body horror, it's very scary, it's very gory. And
It is creepy too, actually. It's
It
very
is a lot
creepy.
of those things. And there's a lot of stuff regarding Dave Franco's past with his parents,
There is a
and there are
big
some
grief element.
genuinely like unnerving images related to that.
Mhm.
And this will absolutely get in the horror crowds. Like we obviously saw like body horror sort of people all of a sudden, like The Substance last year kind of made everyone just go, wait, body horror is actually like amazing. Like it's been amazing for like 40 years.
It's been around for a long
Um,
time.
but I think what's really great about this is that even though it is body horror, I was like, the metaphor behind the codependent relationship stuff is
Mm.
crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Like it's
Yes.
really, really funny.
It
And
has
it's
a wicked sense of humor.
but
Yeah.
then it's heartbreaking as well. Like I remember the reaction out of the Sydney screening. So obviously
Mm.
we had a lot of people like unnerved and cringing with body horror
Great
stuff.
reactions. This is
But
absolutely a crowd movie. If you want
yeah,
to watch it with a crowd, and just some of the reactions to some
yeah.
of the shit you see was
But there
so
was
entertaining.
but there was one scene, and this kind of indicated to me that I'm like, oh, everyone is locked into this emotionally because
Yes.
we
Yeah.
see them having kind of they have arguments, nothing that ever really like their arguments are very
It
like
never turns into like Hollywood, like shouting and throwing plates
yeah,
at walls and shit.
it's
No
it's
marriage story
it's
style
very
stuff.
like realistic where you just have these kind of quiet, serious
There's little
conversations.
tiffs. There's like little, yeah.
Um, and yeah, like Alison Brie says something to Dave Franco's character about whether or not she loves him anymore
Oh,
or wants to
it's
be with
like,
him.
and it's
And it's
scathing to it. It's
it's
like
scathing,
knife to the heart stuff. Yeah.
but that was the moment that like everyone in the cinema just like went, oh,
Oh,
like
yeah.
had this reaction of like Alison Brie has just broken everybody's hearts here. And like the fact that everyone that was watching it was like not only reacting
Mm.
wild to the body horror stuff, but was emotionally invested and laughing riotously
Yeah.
at some of this thing. It kind of just shows you
There, there is a
Michael Shanks has just like
he's got
hit.
the sauce. He's got the
Yeah,
sauce.
like
There is a crash zoom in this movie too that reveals someone outside of a house, and it was the hardest I've laughed in a cinema this year. It was the funniest in such a tense, and it's actually a scene where they're revealing a lot of sort of backstory and lore
yeah.
as to the cave and whatnot. And then just this crash zoom outside, and I thought it was so funny. His balance of like of the body horror, the gore, and the creepiness with the relationship drama with the humor is just this perfect blend. Like I don't think people are going to expect how funny it is.
I think yeah, and obviously like having a real life couple like Dave Frank and Alison Brie
Totally,
completely like
they are so
they're
good.
they're so good together. And like Michael said in his interview, he's like, this movie wouldn't have worked if the couple. He's like, I don't think I could have made this with like, you could get two actors that have amazing chemistry,
Yeah,
but he's like, I don't think it would work as well because he's like, the things that Dave and Allison have to do in this, and
physically.
we'll just say they do get stuck together at a certain point of their body, and he was just like, you can't tell two actors that as good as the chemistry is who have never met to like be this close and
Be that
have to
intimate,
basically
right?
like
Yeah,
he's like if one of them needed to go to the bathroom, he's like Allison and Dave are going to the bathroom together,
yeah.
and you can't ask actors to do
To
that.
do that, yeah.
But I mean Dave like, and it's like separate from all of that, Dave Frank and Alison Brie are incredible actors.
I love them both dearly
Like
as performers. Yeah,
and just you instantly care about both of them.
yeah.
Like that's the
Agree.
thing. Like these are
Agreed.
people that whether it's through what we know of them as people, what we've seen in previous performances, but I'm like, they're just instantly likable people.
Agreed.
So we're like, and like when we meet them, they're already kind of a bit not in sync with each other,
Yes.
and you immediately just want to go, God, I hope these guys work it out. And
Yeah, yeah.
they and then when they're thrust into what being codependent with each other actually means for their physical selves,
Yeah.
it's like, where is this going to go? How are they like, what's the sacrifice? Is there a sacrifice?
Yeah.
And we'll just say the the final shot of this movie, I can't wait to like this is one of those movies where I'm like, I want people to see it so I can have conversations about it.
The discourse around the final minute of this film will be very
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
I loved it. I was
I
like,
loved it and I
oh,
didn't expect it. That's the
I
other
didn't
thing.
expect, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And I was like, okay. And then
Because without spoiling anything, this is just me saying it's a happy ending,
it
is what I
really
would
is.
say. Is what I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah. If you're
Yeah,
really
but
looking into the subtext of the film, it's a happy ending.
but to other like, but I can see other people being completely pissed off.
Yeah.
I can see people like hating it.
Yep. Yep.
But
That's great though. This is what we
that makes
want,
it
like
so much more
subversive
exciting
films.
because watching this movie, you're actually like, I don't know where this is going to go. And then you sort of think body horror, and you're like, oh, are they just going to like absolutely like rip each other apart? And there are
Well,
scenes
we
where
think
they
about the
have to.
substance, right? Yeah, we think about where the substance took
Um,
us in that finale,
so
right?
yeah, it's so
It's
like,
a
and we're
great
just
film.
and like in a time when we're just getting IPs and remakes and sequels. I'm like, to have something original like this
Yeah.
is really exciting.
And coming out of Australia.
Australia.
Michael Shanks, and Neon's marketing campaigns
Oh,
are brilliant. The photos they keep putting up, so they keep putting up celebrity couple photos of them like either kissing or really close, and they just
yeah,
write together July 30. And
yeah.
they just did Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson a few days ago, which was like the marketing team is on point.
Also,
Um,
I mean, we'll probably talk about it more with Naked Gun, but I'm also going to say, I love that Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson are dating because she's like, she's gone through the ringer with stuff. It's
sure.
great to see her. And like her career now is fucking insane.
She's got like 3 movies coming out. Like
Yeah.
she's all over it.
Liam Neeson has been single for like 18 years after the passing of his wife.
I know.
So I'm like, oh, it's like actual, like,
It's
he's found
sweet. It's
something
really
so
sweet. I'm
Um,
so excited for the Naked Gun.
oh,
I
the
rewatched the whole trilogy this week of the originals. I'm so excited.
the reaction to Naked Gun is, I'm like,
It's sitting at like 90 something% on Rotten
there were
Tomatoes,
people
right?
who were like, oh, they were like, it'll be shit. It'll be like the biggest bomb. And I was just like, you know what? I was like, nah. I was like, this
It's
is
gonna
gonna
be
act
so
like.
fun.
So now that it's getting like 90%, and everybody I know in the States who are like raving about it, I was like, I feel justified telling people like, you just
Just wait.
wait.
Just fucking wait. I'm so excited for that movie.
But before we get to Naked Gun,
Yes.
we want everyone to see together.
Please
This
see
is like,
together.
it is. It's. I think whatever you think the movie is going to be, it's actually not. Like,
And it's for the body horror fans out there, there is some imagery in this film that is, because it's not, I wouldn't call it as excessive as the
no,
substance,
it's not as
but
bombastic
it's
as the
effective,
substance.
and it's
Yeah.
oh man, like if you have any sort of ick or fear of choking on hair, there is
Oh,
a fucking scene in this film that still gets me just
there,
thinking about it.
and then it's also like, but
Ugh.
if you have something, if you feel like eye twitching, like I don't know, like the eye
Oh yeah,
that
that's all over the marketing.
but
And then the best scene is
it's
there is a moment where they both decide to sleep in separate rooms, and then
yeah,
that
I was just
hallway
about to say
scene
that
is
sequence is
fantastic.
like the fact that it's like they try and separate from each other and it's like they can't not be together and
It's
the
so good.
body contorting that's happening. Oh, it's so
And the
they're
way
also
Michael gets the camera so close to like Dave
yeah.
Franco's face on the ground, oh, so good.
And I will also say it reminded me of the Suspiria remake. There's a fantastic
Yeah.
scene where Alison Brie is driving and it's
Yeah.
like it's affecting Dave Franco's body
In the
movements in the
shower.
shower.
Yeah.
Oh,
So good.
it's so
This has
good.
so many great set pieces.
Yeah,
It's by far one of my favorite movies of the year, and I'm
yeah,
sure you're the same.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Strong recommend.
It's in my top 5 of the year so far. Yeah.
It's so fucking good. I've seen it twice. You're about to go see it for a
I'm
third
about to
time.
go. I'm about to go see it again. In a general audience crowd. So
You're taking Wing, right? Yeah.
paying wing and seeing it with another couple friends of ours. So
Okay.
like
Next week
two
we're going to
together
talk
seeing
about
it
that.
together.
We'll talk about that because the funniest part is, so we saw it together, and we're basically in a relationship, Pete. We've been detached at the hip for years now.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Michael Shanks, he's spoken about it, and it actually came up in our interview that he's been with his partner for 16 years.
Yeah.
And it was very much about sort of conversations they had and that sort of just examination of codependency. And
Yeah.
I watched it, so we watched it together, and then I watched it with Rhiannon on the
Yeah.
screener, and she hates body horror, but I was like, this is a really
You'll
good
like
movie.
this. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was so funny us being like, oh my God, that's like a conversation we've had before because we've been
Yeah.
together for 10 years.
Yeah.
So we kind of go like, oh yeah, no, like obviously we're not codependent, but these are real, there are real things that you can resonate with in
I
that.
think that's it. Like he did speak about like it was funny, Michael. He was like he's like I'm quite a private person, and he was like
Yes.
so it's kind of weird to just put all of your shit on screen. And I was like, it's great though because you'll have people
Mm.
that will watch this movie, and there might be conversations that'll trigger them or be
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm that person. I've had that conversation, or when they start talking, you almost just want to go, shut up, shut up. You
Shut up,
make
shut
me go,
up.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had that. Where you
Literally.
start saying something and you're like, why
Yeah.
the like let it fucking go. Like
Yeah.
it's yeah. Like the layers to this of being like it's a great relationship drama.
Oh, big time.
But then it just and it's like but then it happens to have gore. Or is it like a gory horror movie that happens to have like substance? Hey. So
Hey.
yeah, can't sing the praises of this movie enough.
It's
Like
bloody
yeah,
fantastic. It
it's
is
really, really
fantastic.
great.
Strong recommend, and I'm really excited to see how it performs when we do the box
Yeah.
office chat next week.
Yeah.
If you want more thoughts, you can go check out my review at waterscreens.com, and you can check Pete's review at the aureview.com for Together. But that's another episode of Water Screens podcast that has come to an end. Next week on the show, it's very similar. We're doing another comedy in Freakier Friday and another horror film that we're both incredibly excited for in Weapons, Zach Kreger's follow-up to Barbarian. So that is next week on the show. In the meantime, head to waterscreens.com for all the latest film, TV reviews, news, and incredible articles, and much, 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 much more. Until then, Pete, where can the people find you on the internet?
Find me on the aureview.com, @ratedpdg on Instagram and X, Peter Gray on Letterboxd, and Peter Gray GRAY on Rotten Tomatoes.
Don't forget the A. That is another episode. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week on the Water Screens podcast.
Goodbye.